I think it feels instinctual to want to protect Myra and Matt and make sure that we're not asking them to take care of us or putting them in a position to make them feel like they have to tell us it's okay, because it's not okay, and also we don't want to put anything extra on them. So it feels instinctual to protect them from my especially hard moments. And Myra has said that she doesn't want that to be the case. Like she wants to see our feelings and have us be real and bring them into our grief as well. That it feels good for her to be able to kind of move through that with us. And so I think it's a balance, and I think it's kind of, situation by situation. I think because we've lived together for so long, we're pretty good at reading where they are and what their capacity is at any moment. And so sometimes it feels like it's therapeutic to bring them into, my feelings, and other times it feels like a burden, and it's easy to find support elsewhere. So
My and Matt said something early on post-diagnosis that they would soon be treated like aliens by everyone. And that sort of stuck with me as something that I never... I was always, will forever be Myra's brother. And I'll always be Matt's brother-in-law as long as Mai has Matt. Now that we're clear on that. I never, ever wanted to be anything but myself with Mai, or Matt, obviously. But, and they modeled really good communication. They're very good communicators, and ironically enough, Hav was an amazing communicator. She never talked. She was an amazing communicator. So they clearly gave that to Hav, and so it's can't be taken for granted, but it was definitely in place that there's a lot of communication, and there has to be, so that you have a baseline understanding of where each other are. I will say for me, like, when I cried, I typically would cry in the shower in the morning, not because I was afraid to cry elsewhere, but for some reason that was just my space, and that's when I would cry. And there were other moments that I can't, but there was something about it where it wasn't that I was afraid to show either of them how I was feeling, but I don't know. You just sort of separate those worlds, I guess.